coins. There's only, well, first of all, the first level there's only one Chaos Emerald, but
My mic was muted. We fixed it much earlier than the last stream. Yeah, welcome to the stream if you're here this early. If not, that's fine. There's probably nobody here. That's okay because that gives me a chance to do some of the things I should have done earlier today. And there we go. Today we're going to be checking out Blender. We're doing some game dev stuff, some stuff that I think people might find interesting, especially because of what we're doing and what game engine we're going to be using. I will be using to make this game. It's a little unorthodox, definitely not something you see very often. I have made many games using the engine we're going to use. And it's the reason why I'm going to use it. Although I can imagine that most people who are going to be making games are not going to be using this game engine. And by that I mean the Blender game engine. The engine that people didn't know existed or thought went extinct many years ago. And you would be correct, it did go extinct when Blender had its major update, but it came back. There's a team who has rebuilt it to work with the new Eevee engine, the new Eevee Blender, which is, for a very small amount of people, a very happy thing. I was very happy to hear that. Because I'm one of the few people, I think, on Earth who is familiar with how the Blender game engine works to begin with. So we're going to be playing around with that a lot today. I've got to freshen my memory, freshen my brain on how to use it. And we're going to also mess around with some graphics ideas that I want to attempt to see if they go anywhere, look interesting, look worth, if it's worth doing the work to use for our little indie game we're trying to make. We're going to put on the Vector Man soundtrack as usual, because it's pretty good.
Hello, Ryan Reynolds here for...
Nope. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with some of this game dev stuff. I don't know what else to say game dev stuff. It's kind of, I kind of cringe saying that, to be honest with you. game dev stuff. But I don't know how else to phrase it yet. Are you seeing what I'm seeing on the stream yet? No, you're not. Blender seems to be frozen. Great. So we're gonna have to just display the screen itself. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this because Blender does not seem to like OBS very much. So we gotta work with this. Work this way. There we go. So what I'm going to attempt to do right now is try to see how far I can stretch this shading technique in Blender, which is just using very few colors and harsh shadows. And what I mean by the harsh shadows is I'm going to take these shadows and make them even harsher. So you see how it's not even nearly as harsh as we want it to be yet. Turn this dark. There you go. See, now you see we have these really harsh shadows. This is kind of the style that I want to work with. And then on the flip side, we can have colors that really pop out because we have such dark shadows. I have no idea how this is going to go. We won't know till we try. Let's say we do like a pink, very bright. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not counting on it too much, but it'd be interesting to experiment here. And we do have a little bit of, we have a controller for our cube, by the way, so we can test out kind of how things look in motion. And I'll show you what I mean by that here. Here. So we can kind of see, just using WASD, this is the power of the Blender game engine. Very simple stuff you could do in Unity, Godot, anything really. But we're doing it in Blender, which is really interesting because it just means you can just do everything in one program. And that's very handy. So we're gonna take... Actually, what I want to build is a little city. It won't really be much of a city. It'll be more like a couple buildings next to each other. A couple ugly buildings that I'm going to try to put very simple shapes on. Let's see how I want to do this. Something like that. Right now, what I'm doing is just making a simple building. It's not going to be very... It's not going to be much to write home about, but... It's going to give us something to work with. One thing we could do, the reason why I'm using simple shapes here is because we're gonna do very little texture painting. We're gonna have very little texture, really. The light, the idea is the simplicity of the spectrum of color that the light is gonna be giving us is going to be the texture for the game. Gives it a certain look and it makes development kind of easier. If this works. If it doesn't work, then we'll go a different route. But that's kind of the direction we're going in. It's just seeing what this looks like. That's what we're doing today. I might just subdivide at this point. Or we could do some simple stuff, stylize the windows maybe. Make them uneven. Just cut some windows out of it. I don't know. We're messing around here. Might be a little too wild there. A little too crazy. So we just kind of slap these windows on. You put a door down here. Just something like that. Make them uneven, make them a little messy. See if that goes for the vibe. The vibe I'm going for here is kind of a place that's gonna have some poppy graffiti laid in around a small area. These kind of gray, old apartment type looking buildings. Kind of trashy road, garbage cans, garbage. Kind of a dirty city. But we're in the baby infant phase of this process right now. It's like not even. We got nothing. Got absolutely nothing. Actually, maybe the windows would be white. With a little bit of a bluishness to them. I kind of like that. It's not bad. We obviously need to add some more colors to this. We might need to change the building to gray. The tan. I don't know if the tan's really working. Maybe add some gray to it. Does the window color work for the door? Nah. We'll have to change the door as well. But let's mess around with these colors a little bit. Let's go gray. Where's our light? Here it is. Excuse me. Oh, this one's... Okay, use that one. Okay, so pretty interesting things we can do with these colors. The building is terrible, so we're gonna have to I'm just gonna delete that. It's more of like a placeholder. This kind of lighting effect is interesting, but it's very limited, right? So get the look I'm going for, I don't know if I need this stylization. That's the issue. Because if I just get rid of that, and I just work with normal colors here, and we can use texture paint to its full extent. Now maybe we use the simple textures for our box, just because it's kind of an interesting way to use a placeholder. But I think we're gonna go just normal Blender textures. I'm not gonna use this kind of pixelated style. It's interesting. One thing we could do tonight is make an interesting building, though. The nice thing about making buildings in Blender is that Blender is very good at making buildings. Trying to find a good reference on the Google for building. Looking for some kind of a specific look here. Okay. I'll be able to work with this. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of work is gonna have to be done to this offline for me. Welcome to the stream, Will. Thanks for coming, man. Right now we're working on the baby phase of a game where we're not even really doing anything real yet. Playing around with different shading styles, different ways of approaching. Really just the bones, the skeleton. I don't even know if we're at the skeleton, we're at the atoms that make the skeleton right now. This kind of hyper-pixelated look here. Really simple, toon shaded type thing. I don't know if I'm gonna go with this, go in this direction yet, but I'm experimenting. Try to think of another direction we could go with this. Another direction we could go with this is just get rid of all this crap. Pretty simple. I go with this floating island type deal. Looks like I'm having some computer problems. Might have to cut the stream early tonight. Really wanted to showcase the new camera and the new lights in the background, as well as kind of get started, get a little bit more headway in this game. But computer's probably gonna crash any second now. So thanks for coming, anybody who did. And we're going to be streaming again real soon for much longer.